What's up everyone, Scuba Steven here, and in this video I have a special planned commentary for you guys. Basically just talking about quitting a job for the first time. Today, as I'm recording this, I just worked my last day at this job, and I'll tell you, it was a little upsetting, but at the same time it was kind of exciting to sort of begin a new part of my life, even though I'd say for the most part I'm not really beginning anything new. I just end up having a little more free time to work on this YouTube stuff, which is my ultimate goal for the future, is to try to go somewhere with this. But with that, leaving that job, this opens up more time for myself to focus on this rather than working the two jobs that I was working at and still trying to do this as well. But basically I was working in the kitchen at a fast food restaurant, and one of my main reasons for leaving is just the fact that it was getting too stressful, being kind of relied on pretty heavy as one of the better workers that we had. So there was a lot of pressure on me. I guess there was a lot expected of me. And basically a lot of the times we were short-handed, very understaffed. We didn't have a whole lot of people that worked back there in the kitchen. Out of like we had like 18 supervisors or managers. They're called team leaders there, but that's basically what it is, supervisor or manager. So we had about 18, and 16 of them were for up front. So we only had 2 in the back there, and that's actually one of the things they were trying to talk me into, is becoming a manager there and everything. Before I left, they were trying to get me to stay by offering me that, offering me more money. But overall, I mean, the money would have been nice, but I decided not to go with it, just for the simple fact that if I were to have done that and become a team leader back there, that would have just been a whole lot more pressure and more stress on me, because I'd have more responsibilities and everyone would be expecting even more of me. So I decided it probably wouldn't be the best idea, especially since I guess you could kind of look at it as a mistake, that it's probably something I shouldn't have done when I wasn't 100% sure on what my what I'd do in the future, even though at the time I was pretty sure. I was 100% positive that's what I was going to do. But there's always that, there's always the option that, you know, you might change your mind. And I kind of already told all the other people that I worked with at my other job that I was going to be working more there eventually, that I was going to start working there like an extra day a week. Which, I mean, that still works out better how I talked about. I'd have more time doing this. I'll still have more time doing this because I'll have, instead of working 2 jobs, working 6 days a week, only having 1 day off, at least I'll be working full-time at this job, and I'll have 2 days off a week. So there's still that extra day that I have where I can work on this stuff, especially because I feel like even when I had that 1 day off, my main goal was to kind of focus on this, which basically would have led to being no days off anyway. But I was kind of neglecting that fact, where I wasn't really focusing too much on doing this YouTube stuff. But now I think with leaving that job, that I'll put a lot more time into this and I'll work harder at it. So expect to see a lot more videos now that I have more time and can put more effort into this. I'm work on trying to learn a bunch of editing stuff, probably get an intro on some of these videos soon. Also, I'm thinking about working on making a montage, or start doing some montages. Here, I don't know, I tried to wall run, but my guy didn't stick to the wall. But yeah, so basically they were trying to make me a team leader there, but I chose not to. It's hard because a lot of people, I don't know, people that view this, if people work or what, but when you work at a job, mostly when you're around other people, over time, unless you just absolutely don't like those people or anything, a lot of times these people become like your family. And I think it made it harder for me because a lot of the people I worked with back there in the kitchen were Hispanic. So it's like, and those, honestly, like the Hispanic people that I worked with, they honestly impacted me the most. And just working with them every day was really one of the highlights of my time spent there. Because some of them don't really, or I think for the most part, a lot of them, they speak enough English to where you can understand them. But there's one guy in particular that was probably my closest friend there that didn't really speak much English, but he was always one of the nicest guys I've ever worked with personally. And it was nice just having some little conversations with him, with the little Spanish that I could speak or the little English that he could speak. So I think he's probably one of the people I'm going to miss the most. So that gets to what I'm saying, is that's kind of hard in that aspect, because I think it's hard for like them to really kind of understand that I'm leaving, and probably won't really see them very often. And that's hard for me too, because it's like, you know, most other jobs you'd go and you'd be able to kind of see the people a lot of times, but they don't work up front, so you know, you can't really see them as often. Because I still go into that place, I'll still go and I'll eat there a lot, but I won't really see the same people most of the time because they're always in the back. But so it's basically like a family whenever you get a job anywhere, and I have that with my one job that I'm still at, and then I had that there. So it's kind of hard when it's like you're leaving family, like you're moving away, first time moving out into your own place. Even though I guess I can't really understand that feeling all too well, since I haven't moved out yet. I still live with my parents. I'm only 19 and I haven't started college at all yet either, so I decided I'd probably honestly wait till I finished college before I were to move out. But that's besides the point anyway. It's hard leaving a family like that, and it's kind of choked me up a little bit here, honestly. And there's another guy that worked there too that kind of inspired me a little bit, I would say. I'd say he's kind of not really like a father figure, but he just, working with him inspired me quite a bit, like to motivate me to want to do more with my life, because he was working 2 jobs 7 days a week basically. He would work at the one restaurant that he was at there, and he'd work from like, I don't know, 12 or 1 till 10:30, and then he'd go to his other job and work from like 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then the very next day he'd be back over at like 12 or 1. Plus he had to make an hour drive to the place, so I don't even see how he got any sleep ever, because in that schedule it seems to be really no time for sleep whatsoever. So it just kind of inspired me to work a lot harder. And I would like to say that for anyone who's ever looking to quit a job, I know sometimes it's hard, and a lot of people will probably, well, okay, let me just start over. So growing up, you know, always on TV I see things and I'm thinking that, like, you know, quitting a job, you just get tired of it and basically you just say, you know, I quit, and then like leave, and you never see those people ever again, because that's what in a lot of TV shows or whatever you see things, it's kind of how it portrays everything, but that's not the way it is. Put in your 2 weeks, it's the proper way to go about it. So I actually saw while I was there 2 people walked out in the middle of their shift because of the stress and everything, so it's hard sometimes. But I think putting in those 2 weeks, like talking to a manager and letting them know, it was probably one of the hardest things I've done. I was really nervous when I went to do it, and it was just kind of the whole time I kind of didn't even know how to talk or tell them, because it was something I've never done, something I'm not used to. But I'm thinking, you know, if I go into another job, it'll be a lot easier now that I've learned to do that, and I'm used to the experience. Now I know how it goes. Thank you guys for watching this episode, or it's not really an episode, but thank you guys for watching, and see you later.